let's go for a ride. Well, just about exactly 3 years ago, with a different truck, we made our very first intentional Purple Collar Life video of landscaping and placing mulch under the porch and along the front of the house. So here we are 3 years later, and 436 videos later, we're doing the same thing with a different truck. This is our F350 with the 7.3 Godzilla Super Duty. We've made several videos about why we switched after 17 years from the Power Stroke diesel to the Godzilla engine. And we've made several videos about the features we wanted in this truck, several videos about some concerns we have about this truck, so I'll put links to those down in the description. But what we're going to talk about today is, with the 8-foot bed, it was absolutely no problem to get 3 cubic yards of black mulch in the back of the truck. Now 3 cubic yards, if you're wondering, each cubic yard is about the equivalent of 12 bags of mulch, like if you'd buy it at Lowe's or Home Depot. So in here we have about the equivalent of 36 bags of packaged mulch. Now this mulch costs us $36 a cubic yard, so just over $100 for 3 cubic yards. And in case you're wondering, on this 1-ton truck, how much does this weigh? Well, because of the lighter weight of the 7.3 Godzilla and the configuration of our truck, we have about a 3,900 pound capacity or payload for our truck. So when we went to get the mulch, Olive and I were inside the truck. Between the two of us, we weigh about 350 pounds. We won't say who weighs each amount, but about 350 pounds. And the mulch per cubic yard, depending on how wet it is, ranges from somewhere between 600 and 1,000 pounds per cubic yard. So in the back of this truck, we're looking at somewhere around 1,800 to 3,000 pounds, which is still within the payload capacity of our truck. Now, we did learn a couple lessons the last time we bought mulch in our old truck. So this time I put down some plastic, and I will put Amazon affiliate links to this. This is just some poly sheeting. I had this in the garage, and I'll put the Amazon affiliate link to this poly sheeting. A scoop shovel and a regular shovel are really handy for getting this stuff raked out of the bed, but the sheeting and the shovels are the main tools that we'll need. Now, probably want to have a good set of gloves because this will get black dye all over your hands, and in our case, we got to get it way underneath the porch so it's not easy for throwing underneath there. The big scoop shovel helps out a lot with that. The poly keeps the debris and particulates from getting down in every little crack and crevice in the truck, so that's why we've done that this year. The difference is the last time it was easy to shovel out, this time it's going to be more difficult because of the plastic. So I'm going to start right here at the end of the porch, and on that outside edge where it's going to be hard to reach in, we're going to just do a shovelful at a time. And if you're wondering how did the truck handle with 2,000 to 3,000 pounds of mulch in the back, it did fine. I'm not going to be one of those people that said, you know, you can't even feel it. But I will say you could barely feel it. And you saw, I'll put a clip in, the helper springs aren't even touching the stoppers. So I think it's been dry enough. This is probably on the lighter end of weight. We're probably at like 1,800 pounds rather than closer to 3,000 pounds. But still, a lot of weight, and we're glad we have the 8-foot bed and the 1-ton truck so that we're not over our payload capacity. Now, I did use tow haul mode because I knew that there was some weight back here, and I think that tow haul mode adjusts the transmission appropriately to haul a load. This is going to be a workout, so I'm going to go ahead and put a time lapse on so that I'm doing a little bit less talking, a little bit more working. Okay, so one big difference in an 8-foot bed, in the 6 3/4 foot bed, when you get to the wheel well, you're about halfway because you've only got about that same distance in front of the wheel well. In an 8-foot bed, still got all this shoveling to do, and it's hard to reach your arm up. So there you go. That's a disadvantage column for an 8-foot bed, is your arms aren't long enough to reach the front of the bed with a shovel. Now let's talk about the price for a second. I said this was about $36 per cubic yard. There are 27 cubic feet in 1 cubic yard. So if you're comparing this price to the bagged mulch, if you were to buy bagged mulch right now at Home Depot as of today, filming of the video, it's $3.99 a bag for black, and the bag contains 1.5 cubic feet. So if you're comparing buying bulk to buying in bags when you're talking about mulch, so you'd have to buy a lot of bags to equal this much mulch. This bulk mulch cost me $109 for 3 cubic yards. And we figured up if we had bought it in bags, it would be $216. So just about half the price to buy in bulk. So if you have a truck like us and you can haul in bulk, it's definitely a better deal, about half the price. If you have the capability to do shovelfuls at a time and throw them under the porch, definitely buying bulk is my recommendation.
Well, and we have found that because we have the capability of driving the truck so close to where we need to do the mulch, it's way easier than dragging the bags off, cutting them, and dumping them. But like my mom and some of my friends who do a ton of mulching, they like it better in the bags because they can drag the bags to where they need to be, cut them open, but most of our mulch is all in one location, so.
Yeah.
I think this location for us, it's cheaper, and I think it's easier than
and we don't have all those bags left over afterwards.
And I will note, this is your first time doing mulch.
Yeah, this is not anything that I like to do at all. So let's talk about that for a little bit. You don't ever go to the store when you're hungry. It's probably a bad idea to make a video after you've just shoveled, 1,000 pounds of mulch off the back of a truck. Mulch looks really good for about a month. And then the other problem with it is we're trying to get it underneath 6 feet of porch with about a 2-foot gap. So it's not like we can just walk up there and dump it out. So we're throwing mulch the best we can under the porch as close to the house as possible, so that when you're standing out here at a distance, you don't see like a dead stop where the mulch ends and it's just, old mulch behind it.
But this is my Mother's Day present. I said, I don't want to do mulch by myself this year.
Yeah. So happy Mother's Day. So we're about not even a third of the way done, because we've got to go the rest of the way around the front and then a long way down the side of the house. At least, like Jennifer said, the front of the house, we can drive the truck. When it gets to the side, it's not even something we can really use the John Deere tractor for. And as we all know, if you can use a tractor for a task, it makes it so much more fun.
Oh yeah, if you were sitting on a tractor driving around, you'd be
Yeah, if I could just put all the mulch down, a loader bucket at a time, would be in great shape.
You didn't do any of the weeding?
Nope, I didn't do any of the weeding. Didn't do any planting new flowers, but it does look really good in that section that's done so far. So we got to stop talking about it, keep at it. We'll do another section here, and I'll give you a video update of what it looks like so far. Now's a good time, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button or the like button. We'd really appreciate it. And if you're wondering, hey Olive, come here. If you're wondering what happened right here, that is compliments of Olive. When she comes out first thing in the morning, she doesn't like to get her feet wet. So she goes just off the edge of the sidewalk, and this is where she pees every single morning. So we got to get this to grow back in. We're gonna hopefully, Jennifer's been putting some apple cider vinegar inside her water so that as she drinks it, it neutralizes the acid. It neutralizes the acid in her urine, so that when she comes out here and does her business in the morning, hopefully it stops killing all this grass. If you guys want to leave a comment down below how you handle a situation if you've got a dog and they like to go out and pee in the same spot every morning, how you handle that, how you keep it from killing all the grass. We are making some pretty good progress here, but it is getting dark. It is after 8:30 here, which is when it's starting to get dark at this part in May here in Northwest Pennsylvania. You can see Olive, if you can see her up on the porch, she's tired. She's laying on her bed. I'm getting tired. We made it about this far so far. Now I'll be able to keep working for a little bit because it's still, light enough to work, but probably too dark to record on camera. So my goal is to get at least this much more done before it gets dark, get the majority of what's left in here spread, hopefully. It is difficult. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. So the closer I get to the front of the bed, you can see the scoop shovel just doesn't want to get underneath it and lift it up. So I've been stepping up in the bed using the regular spade shovel to loosen things up, kind of pull things back towards the back of the bed. But you'll see that the poly is doing a great job here protecting the bed, and it gives me a nice slippery surface. It's also protecting, we do have the puck system in our Ford bed, so there are 5 pucks right there in the bed for the 4 connections for a 5th wheel hitch, and then the single ball for the gooseneck. And it's nice to have the poly on top so that my shovel isn't catching on those plastic pucks every single time I scrape along the bottom of the bed. There's how much we have left. So it was great to have a good truck to go pick up that mulch. We actually could have fit 4 cubic yards in the bed of the truck without any trouble. Again, this is an 8-foot bed on a crew cab F350 one-ton truck with about a 3,900 pound payload capacity. This is the F350 with the 11,000 pound GVRW. So they're with the 7.3 Godzilla, it's a little bit lighter weight than a diesel engine. It gives us a little bit more payload. So like I said, we were probably somewhere around, 1,800 or 2,000 pounds up to a maximum of 3,000 pounds in those 3 cubic yards that were in the bed. The truck had no trouble. I did use tow haul mode, but it felt like it was more than capable of hauling that mulch in the back of the bed, which is good to know, because if you were hauling sand or gravel or topsoil, it would be even more heavy than mulch. So glad to know that that 8-foot bed and the Godzilla engine and the F350 truck are more than capable to do the things that we need to do to maintain our rural Pennsylvania property. We're gonna go ahead and shovel some more out here. I'll take a picture of that side when we're done. We'll probably have to go get more mulch tomorrow, so we'll take you along with us for that. And then we've got a long stretch of house. A couple things I needed to correct. Jennifer pointed out at one point in the video I said 4 cubic yards were in the bed of the truck. There were 3 cubic yards. We could have fit 4, but we got 3. I thought maybe that would be enough. I was very wrong. The other thing I said was that we were throwing the mulch 6 feet under the porch. That section of the porch is 8 feet deep, so we were filling about 5 or 6 feet in front of the porch and then 8 feet under the porch. So we stopped videoing at about 8:30 p.m. that night. We were most of the way across the front. We actually kept working about another hour and got the whole way around the front and part of the way down the side here by the sidewalk done, and we ran out of mulch. But there was a little bit of a trick. The plastic, I think, worked really well on the bottom, that poly sheeting. I wasn't sure. I thought it'd be harder to scoop with the shovel because I thought the shovel would keep getting caught on the plastic, but it ended up being really...
One time it got stuck and that was it.
And that was a rake, right? You got the rake stuck. So, I think the sheeting actually made it easier for the shovel to slide across the top. Like I said, it protected the pucks a little bit better, kept everything from going down in the cracks. On these new aluminum beds, the heat and coolness, it expands and contracts a little bit, so there are gaps in certain areas depending on the temperature. So it was nice not to get those sections of mulch down in those little cracks and crevices. You can see we got 2 more scoops, so another, 1,200 to 2,000 pounds here in the back of the truck. But, you know, I don't want to be one of those guys that say, oh, I didn't even feel it. But really, you can't, when you're only hauling mulch, you really can't feel that much in the back of a 1-ton truck that's set up with extra springs. I think it did fine hauling it. No complaints, and certainly really hardly even noticeable that it was back there.
Well, and I chuckled in my head when you were saying about the difference having the long bed and trying to get the mulch. But when I was in there trying to help you get the rest of it out towards the front of the bed, it really does make a huge difference with the long bed.
You wouldn't think it's that much longer, but it feels a lot longer when you've got the shovel. Now, it worked out really well when we were getting close to the front of the bed. Jennifer was actually another advantage to the poly sheeting. She could lift the front of that and keep working it back to me, you know, kind of sliding the mulch by lifting up the poly. So that made it really a lot easier to get that stuff in the front of the bed.
Well, and the last time we got mulch like this, it took a long time to get the bed of the truck cleaned.
It did, yeah.
Like way longer than we thought it would, and we never really got it completely out.
Right. So after we got that first bunch out, I took the truck up in the yard and used my Stihl blower. I was under the dusk to dawn light so I could see what I was doing. It was dark, but I had no trouble getting the tiny amounts of mulch that kind of spilled over top of the plastic out of the bed of the truck. We folded the plastic up nice and neat, and then once we got to the place to get mulch, we unfolded it and held it in place while they dumped in another 2 scoops. So we're ready to go here. Today is actually Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Jennifer, and happy Mother's Day to all of you who are watching. We took the day off today, so we didn't unload all of this today. We actually got the mulch yesterday. We took the day off.
We took the day off from outside work today.
From outside work. We did a lot of work inside in preparation for Mother's Day. But we've got a little bit of area left to do here. We'll work on that during the evenings this week. This should be enough mulch, but I think it's going to be close because we've got a fairly long stretch to do along the side of the sidewalk and then the inside side of the sidewalk. And we like to put it also around some of our trees. So it's nice to have a little bit extra to put it at the base of those trees. I can mow pretty close with the 0-turn mower, but it's nice to have a little bit wider circle, and you have plants and stuff that are planted along those trees. That if the mulch is there, it protects them from me mowing over them.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. I have stuff there, you just keep mowing too close.
Yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed this video about the capability of the F350 with the Godzilla engine hauling mulch. I think we could have easily done 4, maybe 5 scoops at a time if we needed to, but we weren't sure exactly how much mulch we would need.
I would like to add the capability of husbands to be able to help with mulch.
Yeah.
Because I know you prefer to have implements on your tractors doing stuff or running chainsaws or doing whatever, and you don't see mulch as something that is a fun outside project, but it's something, I mean, I know I'm still very young, but it's something that I need help with.
So if you'd like your husband to help you out with mulch, I suggest encouraging them to get a 1-ton pickup truck.
I can think of all the other stuff we could be hauling in this then.
Yeah. All right, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you're not already following us here on Purple Collar Life, click that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, found it informative or entertaining, we'd love it if you'd click a thumbs up button down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again the next time.